What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Get Real Bass Fishing. Today we're going over some things that have been working for the last week or so. Last week I posted a video where we kind of talked about things that happened the week before, and I probably am wearing the exact same outfit, so just know this is a completely different day. I've been on the water every single day guiding in the morning, and when I'm off of the guiding, I'm going back out fishing, so everything is it's pretty up to date, and we're working every single day. So I'm going to show you 6 different things that have been working for me and my clients this week. We've caught a bunch of fish and we've seen fish come up that were just about 30 pounds. So let's get on this. And I think the very first thing I'm going to talk about is the teaser. And although it didn't produce a lot of fish for us, it did produce fish when things were getting a little difficult. And I don't mean this to be a sales point or trying to sell anything to you guys. Over the week I did tie a bunch of teasers. These are essentially, I'll show it to you, I have one tied up already, but here is the teaser rig. But here's the teaser. It's just some deer hair and some flash, some thread. All it is something that goes above your lure. So this is the second thing I want to talk to you about, is the sand eel. The sand eel bite really kicked off this week for us. You know, the last video I talked about, you know, the diamond jigs and sand eel presentations weren't really working, but we had that sand eel bite start. So these are tsunami sand eels. I'll leave them linked down below. You can get them at your local tackle shop, doesn't really matter. And then that's that teaser rig. I just put a dropper loop on there, and you just put that teaser on. And these are, you know, the red thread ones. I got the greens and golds, but we do have these on the website. If you want to, you can go to the tackle shop, purchase them yourself. You get them exactly when you want them. It's gonna take probably 2 or 3 days to get to your house from the day that you purchase them on my website. So do what you have to do to go get your stuff. If you want to support us, go ahead, doesn't matter. But make sure you throw that teaser on. If anything, it's gonna just add an extra opportunity of catching a fish. You know, if you want to keep it off, whatever, doesn't matter. It's been catching fish, we've been catching doubles, so it's pretty good. But that second presentation, definitely go get yourself some sand eels. It doesn't have to be this one exactly. Like I said in the last video, these are the Bill Hurley ones. This is a tsunami sand eel, but they are hitting sand eel presentations. And with that being said, yes, a lot of you have made comments saying that the diamond jigs have been working for you, and I've been saying they haven't really been working for me. But this week, that diamond jig bite really hit off. This is a 3-ounce A27s. You know, green tubes have been working. We've been throwing reds. Reds hasn't really been working, but greens have been working, whites have been working. And really for this one and the sand eels that I showed you, these guys, there's really 2 ways that have been producing fish. For these 2, they're a little bit lighter than that diamond jig. These are, I want to say this is about 1 ounce or maybe 1.5 ounces. This one is 1.3 ounces. So they're a little bit lighter. So for those sand eels, cast it out, and really we're just working it on the bottom very, very slowly. Both of them have a paddle tail, so they're going to be moving no matter what inside that current. You move them along, that paddle tail is going to kick. If you want to reel it up a little bit faster, just know that if you reel it faster, chances are it's not going to ride on the bottom. And that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes they're hitting the bottom. Sometimes you can cast out the diamond jig, the sand eels, burn it through, and they're going to hit it on the surface like it's a moving bait. Like there's no wrong way of fishing it, but do pay attention to where you get your hits. So if you cast it out and you just let it sit and you're just reeling slow, chances are you're on the bottom, you know, or a little bit lower in the water column, and you catch a fish. So your next cast, you're going to want to do that presentation again. If you cast it out and automatically gets hit or instantly gets hit, chances are they're up on the surface, and just try to burn it up every single cast, because chances are they're looking up and hitting bait. So just be mindful of that. Same thing with the sand eels presentation on that diamond jig. You know, this one is 3 ounces. A27s are roughly 3 ounces, so they're going to sink right down to that bottom. And if you have fast moving current, fast sweeps, this is going to be pretty good to get on the bottom if they're hitting on the bottom. It's just going to go straight down, and chances are you're not going to need anything heavier than a 3 ounce or an A27. Again, you can cast this out, let it hit the bottom, pop it up, that way it comes up like this and then flutters back down, or just slow roll it on the bottom and let that tail kick in that current, and they're just going to suck it up. Just pay attention to how you get your hits and just repeat it with every single presentation. Just like last week, these swim bait presentations are doing very well for us. Again, these are Joe Baggs swim baits. This is a Joe Baggs head. This is a 1 ounce, and this is a Saltex head. This is a 2 ounce. So I haven't really needed anything more than 2. If the current is super strong or the sweep is super strong, I'm throwing that 2 ounce, and if it's not, I'm throwing that 1 ounce. And it doesn't need to be, you know, one or the other. If they're hitting up high, throw that lighter one. If they're hitting down low, throw that heavier one. It gets it down quicker and in front of their face. These paddletails, just like those sand eels, are gonna kick no matter what if there's current. If there's no sweep and it's super calm out, try to go with that 3/4 ounce or a 1 ounce head. That way you can have a better chance, more sensitivity. You can do whatever you want. If you want it to hit the bottom, just reel it slower or just let it sink. If you want it to stay on top, just reel it a little bit faster. It's very difficult to keep this 2 ounce head, no matter what, up on the surface. So just be mindful of that and keep switching things out. If a 2 ounce seems like it's picking up weeds, nothing's happening, throw in the 3/4 and just figure something out. These are 5-inch swim baits as well. So the 5 inches have been working very well. For some reason, those 4-inch ones have not been producing. Last week 4-inch worked. For some reason this week, the 5-inch ones are producing more than those 4s. Once again, you cannot go wrong with the SP minnow. Now we've been trying a bunch of different colors, even a sand eel presentation. We've tried the bones, we've tried the yellows, and for some reason for us, the chromes are the ones that have been producing. And no matter what we're throwing, I got a huge Z-belt bag, 3 tubes, it's loaded with baits, loaded with SPs. I got a single tube in there with SPs and nag darters. However, that chrome presentation, it's got a little black head. I don't know if that plays too much into it, but that chrome has been producing daytime and nighttime for some stripers. If you want to change out the hooks, I use Mustad 5 strongs. I'll leave them down below. I think a couple shops might actually have them in stock, but you can still catch fish on these stock hooks. Just try not to rip the fish through the water too hard, but that chrome. And we cannot go without talking about bucktails. So these bucktails, if you watched the video previously, me and my brother went out during the storm. There was big waves, strong water, but the sweep wasn't too crazy until high tide came up. And even still, the sweep wasn't that strong. So I was throwing this 3/4 ounce spikes bucktail and we were catching fish. And then all of a sudden the sweep picked up and I had to make a switch to a 1.5 ounce spikes bucktail. Both produced fish, it was just a different presentation. So have a couple sizes in your arsenal. I have these on the website if you want to purchase them. I'll leave a link down below. I'm only selling the 1s and the 1.5s though. If you want to go get more, every single shop has an abundance of bucktails. If there's one bait that you can throw to catch fish at any time of year, no matter what, it's a bucktail. And these are fat cow jig strips. I like the fat cows over the other ones. They're super thin, so they have better flow to them. You know, they're kind of just flowing real easy. The other ones, other brands are a little bit thicker and they kind of just do whatever they want. They don't have that subtle, soft presentation. So I like the flow of the fat cows. 3/4, 1.5. If you really, really need it, which I've used a couple times this year, is that 2 ounce bucktail. And again, I don't sell these on the website, but that 2 ounce bucktail that's loaded with real deer hair is gonna catch you some fish if you need it. It's a big presentation and it shows inside of that disturbance and turbulent water. So yeah, go out and catch some fish, guys. If you have any questions, leave a link down below. We'll do this again next week. Try to keep you guys up to date. And be mindful that even though it's freezing cold out, there are still fish, and those have been some of our better days as far as catching a lot of fish and big fish. So if you have time, go out on the water, go catch some fish. If you want to book a trip with me, I'll take you out on a guided trip. Check the description. I will leave a link to smoochandrelease.com. You can book a trip. If you want to message me on Instagram, I'll leave my email down there as well before you book a trip. That way we can figure out some details before you spend the money. Let me know and I will get to you as quick as possible. But thank you guys for watching. Stay real, smooch and release, and have some fun on the water. I'll see you next time.
Without my love for the ocean, I would be long gone by now. It's some kind of devotion.